Forgot to hit the record button. Do we really have the top of the funnel figured out?
I think the top of the funnel is the website.
Depending on your marketing.
That's the top of my funnel.
Mine, it's texting. So
John, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, so the top of my funnel is just to find out if it's the right property with the right number.
Still off the mark from what I talked about the other day. What do we mean by top of funnel?
Is that the traffic coming in?
The free stuff to start sucking people in to get them into the funnel.
Thank you for showing up and remembering, Bob. God, I love your energy.
I'm a steel trap with a lot of holes in it.
So we can see the whiteboard, yes? So if you remember the other day, we got talking about there's really three kind of key components to our funnel, overall business funnel, right? Where we have kind of our top, middle, it's a bad M.
John, are you drawing something? I don't think anyone can see. It's not showing on, at least on my end.
Why does it do that every time? I have to de-share, reshare.
Yeah, I did it Monday too.
You
There
see
we
it
go.
drawing now?
We're good.
Weird. And then we have what we called the other day our signature service, right? And we all agreed the other day that, hey, signature service in real estate is the cash for houses. Right? For the majority of us, we buy houses. We pay people cash for their home. That's our signature service. John, remind me again, what was the point of our top of funnel?
To qualify?
Go deeper.
To bring somebody in and make sure that, I just don't know how to put words to it.
Who else on here was on Monday? Sal, were you on Monday?
No.
Chris, you were on Monday.
Yeah, so the objective, I think, is to move them down the tier, down to the mid tier.
Yeah, the whole point of the top funnel is to move them to the middle of the funnel. And what percentage of people are ideally fit for the top of our funnel?
97 to 99%.
And why is that? You're 100% right. Why is 97 to 99%? What is that? What are we talking about there? Who is this 97 to 99?
First touch.
They're the people that aren't necessarily ready yet.
Keep going. You're right.
So they're not ready, and also they've already been marketed to. They're not in need yet.
All right. They're not, I like how you said that actually. They're not in need. They're curious. They're interested. They're kicking the tire. They're thinking. They're in research mode. Basically, they're in marketing terms, it's called the information gathering phase. Now, when we finally get them into the mid tier, by this point, these people, they've kind of identified what it is that they need. They've maybe narrowed the thought process down to one or two or three choices. And they're really trying to finalize their decision, right? And the whole job of our mid-tier, just like our top tier, is to eventually move that person into selecting us, right? So, Mickey, we can't jump straight to the mid-tier until we have our top tier, top of funnel, clearly selected, because the majority of the people that we're marketing to, the majority of sellers that we get our message in front of today, are they ready for the cash offer right now?
Probably not. They're very
Even if they're in a
small
bad
percentage,
situation,
yes.
they're not ready for the cash offer just yet because they still have a lot of what?
Option questions.
Confusion, so on and so forth, right? Now let's see how much we still remember before I go too deep into this. Chris S., since you were on the call, top tier. Is this free or does it cost money?
This one's free.
What about our mid tier?
That one costs, but a lower cost.
Yeah,
Almost, almost like a service.
it could have a cost. Could also be free as well. The difference is it has to have a little bit of commitment. We need them to make a little bit of a commitment as they get into that mid tier because we're kind of warming them up, right? And I use the analogy on Monday. I went through Dr. Andrea's structure. Mid tier is where she got into like a 6-week challenge where it cost you about $35 to $40, but you had the opportunity to maybe win $150. Well, there's a commitment there. There's a little bit of a financial commitment, but there's also a little bit of a time commitment. There's 6 weeks in this, right? Maybe the commitment is buying a book. Well, the commitment is the financial piece of the cost of the book, or it could also be the commitment of spending the time to actually go through a book. Video courses. If you've ever bought a course on something, there's a lot of course creators out there that mid-tier, they'll give away a couple stage course for 45, 50, 80, $90, something like that. Typically mid-tier is going to cost, if it's going to have a price tag, it's going to be under $100. Peel the onion back a little bit farther. TRC, REI Toolbox, our foundation package, our $97 foundation package. Is that our signature service or is that a mid-tier product? Maria, I saw you mouth it. Mid-tier. Because is everybody ready for an accelerator, dominator, full service, us doing all the work for you right out of the gate? No. Foundations for us is a mid-tier product. It's not our signature. So, real estate wise, the bulk of our marketing is really aiming to get people in to this funnel. And we already know the bulk of the people we're talking to fall in this 97 to 99% where they're a little kind of confused, got questions, still in information gathering mode, not 100% sure what they need, want, how, all those kind of questions, right? So we have to start looking at the top of our funnel and asking ourselves, what do we have available for somebody for free to assist in this information gathering mode to move them along to then be able to bring them into this mid-tier piece. Is this making sense so far? Who thinks they know where I'm going to go from here. What do you think a good top tier component that's free, that helps attract, that helps nurture, helps pull somebody along? I've talked about this a lot in the past. So some of you guys have been with us for a while. You should know where I'm going.
It could be an informational thing through blogs.
A lead magnet.
Ding, ding, ding. Our top tier is a bunch of free stuff. Could our blogs be just that? Yep, they're out there. We could drive our marketing towards specific blogs that are valuable with education. What else could it be?
Podcast.
Podcast. What else?
Case study.
What else?
Report.
What else?
Testimonials.
What else? I'm gonna run out of space.
Video free training or something like that.
Videos, could be trainings, could be tips.
Spreadsheet, calculator, something like that.
Home selling calculator. Home selling spreadsheet.
Checklist.
Huh?
Checklist.
Checklist. Anything else coming to mind?
Do a Facebook community or something, a group.
Facebook group. Be really awesome, actually, if you had a local community, a local group, local market group, where all you did was show up and share a bunch of real estate tips and tricks. What else? Seeing if there's anything else you guys can think of.
Did we say webinar, like the type of webinar that Lorraine is doing?
Web training, webinar of some sort, right? Anything else we can think of? It's a pretty good list. All right, a lot of different options. And if we had one or two of these, the whole point of them is to move them where? You're pointing down. I need answers.
Down the funnel
Down the funnel, get more detailed.
to the mid-level.
So if our job is to move them to the mid-level of our process, mid-level of our funnel, mid-level of doing business with us, how much information really needs to go into whatever one of these or two of these that you have dangling out there?
Just enough to make it look like you know what you're talking about.
Continue to get more specific, Sal.
Show that you're an expert. Show that you stand out, that you're providing them some value.
These are great book answers. I wanted an example.
Oh. Okay, how, have a blog that says how to get your house ready for winter. How to get your house ready to sell. What to do in a probate situation. Provide a case study about something you did to provide a service for another customer.
Anytime we put any kind of content together, anytime we put any kind of information together, these are really the three main pieces: why, what, and how. Let's make it real simple. The how is really what?
Providing them a framework of what we can do for them.
The how is actually our what?
Offer?
The how is our signature service.
Mhm.
The how all of this could be accomplished for them, the how all this stress could go away, the how they could stop the foreclosure process, the how they could get rid of this probate nuisance, the how they could get rid of this rental property they can't stand, the how they can sell really fast because they got to move out of town for a job is what? You. So in our top and mid-tier funnel, what are we really focusing on?
The why and what.
The why and what. And if you really want to take it even deeper here, we could really say the why should be really focused on the top of the funnel. The what should be really focused in more of the mid-tier. Why is the market shifting? Why are home values dropping? Why is interest rate climbing? Why is this impactful to people trying to sell in their markets today? Why is it difficult to sell distressed properties? Why do agents take so much money from you? Why? You see where I'm going? Okay, Sean, thanks. That's some really good information on why. I understand the why. What do I do about it? Well, what do you need to do to stop the foreclosure process? What do you need to sell your house for top dollar in today's market? What do you need to have in place to avoid X? Okay, now I understand the why, I understand the what. Now, how in the heck do I actually accomplish that? Well, you can do all of these things, or we could talk to you. I'm going to go back to TRC here for a second, because you guys it'll come full circle on this. Chris C., you and I just had a conversation. You're like, I'm a little confused. I'm a little overwhelmed. Got a lot of things happening, right? You guys are talking a lot about this stuff. Well, you're in a package where we do the how for you, right? But that when you got on that call, it was, okay, how do I get this stuff going? How do I have to, what of all of these things? How do I make this work for me? And how do I know where to start? Well, you're in our signature service, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's say, Chris, you weren't. The how, now that's where all of these trainings, all of the step-by-step stuff that Roger goes over, all the step-by-step that I go over, there's the actual how. So the how it gets done is you have to start doing X, Y, Z, or let us do X, Y, Z. That makes sense? Most of you in the that are still in our foundation package, you're at that mid tier where you're learning and really starting to understand why you need to do certain things the way that you need to do it online, why Google wants things done the way that they want it done, what that does for you, what are the different SEO techniques and steps and tactics, right? What does a well-structured blog look like? What is keyword research? Why do you have to do it this way? The how, you got to sit down and do it all. So when we get deep into focusing on the top funnel, because that's where we're going to bring the majority of people in. No matter what one of these you pick, the sole focus should be predominantly around why. I bet I haven't read Marie and Liz's book, but I bet there's a lot of stuff in there that talks about why and what. Am I correct, Liz? Why these are problems, why this is stuff that you need to pay attention to, why this is going to hurt you from a capital gain standpoint, what that means for you, what you could do about it. And maybe there's a little dribbles of some how steps in there. But the big how is talk to Liz and Marie.
Talk to Liz and Marie and talk to your tax advisor.
Talk to Liz and Marie.
Yeah,
Does Liz and Marie have tax advisors on their side?
yes, we do.
Right. That's the easy how.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys an example of this in real life. This is something that just built out not specific for this training, but I got it done specific for this training. Do you guys see the homepage of the REI Toolbox website? Okay, I want to make sure it shared the right thing. Chris S., what's the first thing you see?
Actually seeing a screen with all of your apps. I don't see anything else.
How about now?
REI homepage.
Okay. What do you see right away?
The #1 marketing agency. It's the first thing I read. It's the first thing my eyes went to. See a chat box. I see a guide.
What do you mean a guide?
Like the picture of it's like a checklist.
This thing here,
Yeah.
the ultimate internet marketing checklist for real estate professionals. Is this top of funnel?
Mm-hmm. Free checklist.
Free checklist and video reveals how to get your internet marketing right for real estate business. This checklist will help you identify what is missing from your current strategy and what you must focus on. Take your company to the next level. Why and what? As somebody goes through that checklist, is it going to have any of the how in there? No, but it's going to have a really clear process. I could open up on my other screen. Hold on. You guys see the checklist now, right? So checklist, is your website optimized for conversion? Is your website optimized for search engine? Is your company optimized to rank on Google Maps? Are you taking advantage of paid online marketing? Are you active on social media, right? This is just bringing a lot of awareness around the why and what to really make digital marketing work well. We're all tracking there, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So they say, hey, whoop, a little exit pop came up. They say, yeah, I want to get that. Well, here's where there's a little bit of that ethical bribe. I'll give this to you, but I'm going to ask for what?
Email, phone number.
Ask for your name, phone number, email, and what?
Company.
Company name, right? And if you give me that and hit send me the checklist, then guess what? You'll get this checklist. It's going to help you take your company to the next level because it's going to help you identify all the things that you're missing.
So then you have their email and then you send them emails telling them continuously how much you can help them and you follow up.
Or they call you deliberately saying, give me the answers to the rest of the checklist stuff.
Yeah, we'll jump into that, right? So, okay. They say, yeah, let me get that. I want that. And I hit them here again. Hey, your free checklist is on its way. Be sure to check your email. By the way, how's your real estate business marketing? Take this short quiz. Is this still continuing now to bring awareness to why and what? What are some of the problems? Why maybe are they struggling? So what's your biggest marketing challenge? I don't know, getting the phone to ring. What are you doing to currently generate business? Other, please specify. Nothing. $0. I wait on referrals. Here's my website. I'm good. I hit submit. Am I moving them a little closer now to mid funnel at this point? Yeah, it's still not costing anything. It's still free, but are we at a little bit more of a commitment at this point? Yeah. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Quick video reveals if you actually watch this video, I talk a little bit about what's the issue in digital marketing with real estate, what they could do to be fixing that, how we could actually help them. And if they want to just kind of circumvent the process and really get this going at a faster pace, go ahead and grab a time that's available over here and book with that.
So this is not only providing information, but for example, when I look at this, I say, I don't know what they're talking about. And I need to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about, which means I don't really know shit. And I need to find an expert.
Yep. Now, most people, when they get to this point, are they going to be ready for the conversation just now? No, this page right here, it's there for that maybe 5 to 10% of people that are a little closer, right? Not quite 1 to 3. They're not ready to buy just yet, but they're a little more ready in a position. They're actually wanting to just have a conversation about this, right? But this will be the page that most people will opt out of. Some will won't even fill out the little fun survey to get to this page. But if they fill out the survey, some might get here and be like, I don't know if I want to schedule any time just yet. So there are some other things on here. How can REI Toolbox get your phone ringing off the hook with calls from people in your area? All this stuff, right? We get down in here, what other participants of this have said, and these things that are in there. But the follow-up, to Liz's point, the follow-up is the gold. The follow-up is what's going to continually bring them closer and closer and closer to the mid-tier. this is kind of the starting point of our mid-tier. And we're kind of at the border of our top of funnel, cracking into our mid-tier. If I can get them on a strategy call, chances are we're going to move them a little closer to doing something with us. While tracking still? So knowing that this is probably where they're going to fall off, this is where the follow-up comes in. So my lead vault folks, you guys should be able to recognize this. The ultimate real estate checklist form is the trigger. So if they filled out the form to get, if they click this, got here, and fill out this form, that's what's going to trigger this workflow. Couple internal things, right? Send an internal notification, these type of things. But then they're going to get an email. Congratulations on requesting a copy of your online marketing checklist for real estate professionals. A little image of it. You can download the online marketing checklist here, blah, 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 blah. But look at this paragraph. If you're like most real estate business owners, you probably have more questions than answers. They're at the top of the funnel. I know they're out there confused, right? They got a lot of questions. If you're like most homeowners in the Louisville market, you probably have way more questions than you have answers on how to sell and get top dollar. And I just continued to go on a little bit about this, right? You want to just don't want to wait around for the next email? You can schedule a quick call to chat here with me. Where do you think this is driving to? If they were to click on this, where do you think it's going?
Your calendar.
Right back here. All the best, blah, 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 right? Tell it to wait 3 minutes. Then I'm dropping a voicemail. A voicemail is just me. It's a recording of me saying, hey, just noticed that you requested the ultimate checklist for real estate online marketing. This is Sean. Great to meet you. Glad that you requested it. Hopefully you get value out of it. I don't remember exactly what I said. It's only 34 seconds long. It's not a long voicemail. Voice drop, wait a little bit, send a text message to them, then wait, another text, right? 2 days later, send this other text, wait, another day. And I hit them again now with, here's the next steps. Because by now they've probably opened it up and looked at the checklist, right? So I'm just telling them, hey, I'm happy to see you taking the first step, dominate your local service area. Hopefully by now you've had the chance to download the online marketing checklist. If you haven't done so already, you can download it here. Maybe they didn't see the first email. Maybe they haven't even opened it up, but this email finally gets them to open it. Now I'm continuing to nurture right here because I'm continually trying to move them where again, Sal? Jordan, help them out.
Down the funnel.
To the mid-tier, to the next layer, right? So I'm going into some education piece here and kind of building some kind of trust by throwing some stats out here. Right? After working with hundreds of real estate businesses and building my own real estate company, I can tell you one thing's for sure. There is exactly zero correlation between the investment and performance. In other words, most online marketing strategies simply don't generate leads. But the good news is you're about to transform your online marketing into a high quality lead generation engine using the proven framework. Speaking of frameworks, the Ultimate Real Estate Online Marketing Checklist is just one of the 10 elements of the REI Toolbox Online Dominance Framework, a simple but proven marketing strategy for tripling your sales. I'm still just talking around why and what, right? Continue just bringing that awareness around it. If you're like most real estate business owners, you probably got way more questions than answers when it comes to online marketing. If this is the case, I'd be glad to just jump on a phone call with you, a quick 20 minutes to help you get clear on what you should be doing next to grow your business. Not, I want to get on the call with you to tell you exactly how our services work and sell you on my services. Not, I want to get on the call with you so that I can buy your house today. Not, I want to get on a call with you so I can give you a cash offer in the next 24 hours. I feel like most homeowners probably got more questions than you got answers. If that's the case, I'd love to jump on a quick 20-minute call and give you some guidance on what you can do next to make the home selling process easier.
So Sean, when this, I mean, the obvious question I'm hitting myself with, okay, you're showing us this from the experience that you've had with this. Is it, since you've started doing this, is that drawing more people to call? And if so, which I'm thinking it is, are you personally handling it, or do you have a staff that manages that process?
Still to this day, I take every single one of our calls.
Okay,
Very, very rare does Roger take one.
okay,
Later this year, that'll probably be a focus, is to build out the sales team, because we're trying to go bigger and I can't do it all off my own back, right? My own time.
right,
And
exactly.
take a team of time. But this strategy here that I'm using here is the exact strategy that I used in our real estate turnkey business. It's the same strategy we used in our rental management company when it came to qualifying and moving tenants through the funnel to find the quality tenant that we actually wanted to rent. In this case, I'm moving them to a phone call. In our tenant's case, we were moving them towards filling out an application and starting a background check. In our turnkey business, it was about getting them on a 5 to 10 minute call to talk about the property, to see what the situation was. If we were marketing to, and the top of the funnel, to our turnkey buyers, it was, hey, a 5 to 10 minute conversation to see what your investment needs. How much down payment are you ready to do? What size property do you want? How quickly do you need that property? Just trying to move that person to the next tier, the mid level, right? Then once I get them on the call, or get them to fill out an application, or whatever the next, in this case, get them on the call, it's to bring awareness to the problems, bring awareness to the work that it's going to require. And then it always opens up the door for, well, how can you help me with that? Or how do I get that done? That make sense? Now this continues on, right? There's another wait step. There's more follow up in here. Hey, I just wanted to follow up, make sure you had a chance to download it, kind of thing. And then here's where we're finally starting to throw out. If you have any questions or require additional assistance, send us a reply, or just feel free to call me directly.
So Sean, I know this is not a lead vault call, but in the process of getting them in this funnel and bringing them further down, you're asking them, say, you want more information? Let's have a conversation. How do you getting them to that scheduling? Is the step on here?
It's all throughout here. P.S. If you want help implementing these strategies, just like setting other eyes on your overall online marketing, click here to pick a time. Every single one of these messages are linking back to this
Okay,
page.
gotcha. Okay, thank you.
But notice the positioning of it. It's not P.S. I want to give you a cash offer today. P.S. I want you as my client now. Book a time here. P.S. We have all the services for you. Get on a call so we can sign you up. Right? It's positioned like, hey, you want some help implementing these strategies? Would you like another set of eyes on your overall online marketing strategy? It's positioned very easy threshold, low threshold, right? And when they get on those calls, you guys have all been through the process. They're not salesy at all until it makes sense to discuss the packages or discuss the services. Now, by the time they get all the way to the end of this, there is a final message where I kind of put it out there. Hey, I recorded this video to explain the key concepts in the checklist, walk you through, blah, 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 blah. It goes deep on exactly how to generate better results. Here's where I'm finally getting into some of the how, because it's an actual video training. But I'm also very open on it, where I say it's an hour and a half long. It's not a short video, right? This is the past webinar is all it is. Just past webinar that I threw on a page. Some of you guys were actually on this webinar. But again, more value. But by the time, if somebody got to this point of that workflow where they're actually sitting down and watching this, they haven't booked the time yet with me. They're pretty deep now in that trust. They're starting to build a lot of trust and rapport if they're willing to sit down and watch an hour and a half long training.
I might have to rename this funnel the trust funnel.
But then watch this, ready? After that video's done, or after they get to here, I also have them being moved to a long-term nurture. Because by this point, I mean, we're talking almost 2 weeks since they've downloaded the checklist. If they haven't responded to me, booked on something, got on me, and I haven't taken them out of this workflow, chances are they're probably not super ready just yet. But I don't want to not continue to follow up with them, right? So now we move them into the long-term nurture sequence, which goes out for 32 weeks. And this is continually being built. I keep adding more weeks. Eventually, this will be out to about 52 weeks. So where every week, something's getting in their box to stay in front of them. And if we went through some of these emails, where do you think they're softly driving back to? Right here. Because going back to a couple of weeks ago when I talked about funnel inside a funnel, that book a call page, that is the top of the sales funnel, which is actually the middle of our overall business funnel. Questions, comments, anything? I'm going to try to pull one other thing up that I forgot to have up already for you if I can find it.
Okay, so I have a question because of, I'm sorry, Mickey, do you want to go?
No, go ahead first.
Oh, okay. So just on like our book, is our book going to be the magnet to get them in? Or
Could
is
be.
our webinar going to be, I mean, then they get the book or they get on the webinar first or something like that. And then I think in the bottom, it's us buying their property or getting that property under contract is, I guess, our ultimate goal. So, is that it? And then whatever we're doing to get their email. And I say that because I have a buddy, I keep getting his email about getting on his webinar. Now I know I didn't give it to him for what he's sending it for. But it's just that it's just short and sweet to the point of just get on here and then you'll find out from there. But I don't know what he's doing to get people on there that he didn't already have in a database,
So what was your question?
Well, so is that lead magnet that book, or should we come up with something else and have that?
The
Because
book is not the free lead magnet, Liz. The book is not the free lead magnet. Either
Could
a
be.
checklist, the
But it-
webinar.
But why can it
something
not
we
be
pull
the?
out of the
it's-
book, the questionnaire? The book is definitely not the free thing.
But
Could
it's
it be,
not
though?
free. It can be free with paid with shipping though. I mean, that's how this he's talking about Russell Brunson. That's his. You get this book. I can get this book for free if I pay for shipping, and that's
Yep.
gets him in my email. But that because
So
I'm
that-
saying,
So that's still
for
not free,
shipping.
right? You paid for shipping, so it's still not free.
yeah, but he advertised it as free, and that's what we just talked about with Sean. You can get it for free, but you got to pay shipping and handling. So would we look at that, Sean? I mean, that's the kind of thing.
Sure, but it's not going to be your top of funnel. Because nobody's going to whip out a credit card when they don't know who you are.
Right, unless there's
So
something.
yes, a
First.
checklist of some sort. Yeah, it's not dangerous. I'll give up my contact information for a checklist.
Maybe getting a real simplified checklist from that book.
Yeah,
That
a
maybe-
webinar that teaches
How about
high
list
level
those-
about the book.
Yeah, or just list here are things you need to worry about. Just list the topics on each chapter, and just send that out as a checklist and say you want more.
Then
you
do
know.
it, yeah.
It's the questionnaire that we have in the back of the book, your tax planning questionnaire. It's a perfect
That's a great
thing
start.
you pull out.
Put it on a one page. What other questions? I think Mickey, you had something.
It's actually a comment. Like, I understand the whole thing when you are doing it, Sean, and I get it. And then when I get to do my own thing, that's where it's blurry, and I hesitate on what is actually, the next step and how to connect each one of them, right? Because they're ready for this, then you're pushing for the other one because you're not pushing for the third layer. So it's like, you are a great marketer, and I'm growing to be there. So this lesson might be taught several times, or re-listening to this audio, to this recording.
Well, go deeper on that. Why does it make sense, but when you go to look at your own stuff, why do you get stumped?
I think it's because my strategy is not clear.
I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to also I have a great example for real estate. I'm trying to find it.
Yes, please share that real estate example.
But I don't want you to wait on answers. I want you to explain to me why is it confusing on your end?
It's confusing in a sense, like when we take like a list of the list of potential tire landlord, right? We had them skip trace, and then the texting campaign start. So we do text. My next step is to have them go into having a phone call with us, right? And so that's like another touch into that. And it's understanding, when do I actually ask them to either, is it I'm sending them to the website as going and discovering what we actually do, or is it it's all those steps in between. Like, I understand what it is, but going into specifically how that funnel looks like, that's what is confusing to me. Like, I love it how your area toolbox is. It's super beautiful.
Can you guys see writing on the whiteboard this time?
Yes.
I want to make sure it's actually showing up. So we've got our lead magnet. Okay. You need some form of an opt-in spot, opt-in page, something like that. Now here's where the split happens from there. Once they opt in, we want to send a series of emails delivering value. The first email is delivering whatever that lead magnet was. Still tracking, Mickey? The emails should build on themselves in nurturing, in moving that person along the journey with you. Emails, text messages, right? Any outbound communication from this. It could be emails, texts, combinations thereof, these type of things. You need to start thinking, Mickey, what is the next step in my process? This is the exact conversation that you and Aisa and I had yesterday.
Yes.
What is the next step? And that is all we're trying to do with these emails, is drive them to whatever that next step is. In my case, in the example that I showed you, the next step in this process is I want to get you on a call with me to discuss some strategies and better understand what you're doing and give you some tips on how you could be doing it better. Still tracking, Mickey?
Yes.
For you, it might be, hey, you guys download this thing, you get here, I'm going to start sending you some different emails with some different information that nurtures you, builds up our relationship. And I'm subtly reminding you that, hey, I can do whatever's next. In your case, maybe it's get on a call and spend 5 minutes to better understand, or 10 minutes to better understand your real estate needs, or better understand why you're considering selling, or better understand the troubles you're having with your rental property.
Mm-hmm.
If you're marketing for lenders, maybe it's this same lead magnet structure works, something that gives a little bit of information, dangles a carrot, attracts a potential lender, emails build on themselves. And the next part of the process is, hey, just talk about your investment needs, your investment threshold. Do you like risk? Don't like risk? You're more conservative? What? Let's just have a conversation and make sure this strategy is a good strategy even for you. Not even talking opportunities yet. You got to understand what your next step is. Because the follow-up sequence is, the whole job of the follow-up sequence is to just move them one more step. And our next step in real estate, it can't be cash offer that quick. You're asking to take them home when they barely let you buy a drink the first time they met you. One to 3% of people will be okay with that. The rest aren't. This is why most marketing fails in the real estate space. We have one soul. We're like a 15-year-old with a one-track mind. So let's back it up a little bit. Let's put a few dates in between and move them closer and closer and closer to that moment. Is it still making sense, Mickey?
Yes.
Now, what do you actually say in those emails and text messages, and what actually is in all that place? You got to test and measure.
Okay.
There is no direct answer. I teach you principles.
Yes, you do.
Because principles, when you understand the principle and the whole structure and you understand the concept around it, everything else is just inserted.
And yes, and I love it, right? Because that's the power of it. It's like later on, you can just reapply to any type of marketing. It will work because you understand the principle, the concept.
How did I write those emails? Well, I sat down and I wrote them. But I also pay attention as people opt in and go through sequences like that. Is it working? Because if it's not working, then that means I got to rewrite it. Or maybe I'm not putting the right stuff in there. Or maybe we got to test something else. Or maybe I'm trying to move them a little too far, too fast. But that's all marketing is just test, 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 measure, 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 adjust, adjust, adjust. So step one in this whole process is decide what's the magnet? What's the bait? What are we going to put out there? A checklist on, oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. A checklist when I'm marketing to real estate professionals, real estate investors and agents, a checklist talking about everything you need to know for your internet marketing. That's good bait. Why? Because a lot of real estate investors and real estate agents and real estate professionals struggle with marketing online. So a checklist, now that we just put this up last night. So now I'll start doing some marketing campaigns and push people towards it. We drive a lot of traffic to the website and we'll see how the opt-ins go for this. But I guarantee you, in a couple of weeks, this is going to have some really good people flowing through it. It's going to start to generate leads. It's going to start booking strategy calls. Why? Because the bait matches the audience.
Mickey, I get where you're coming from. You want this, you want to know what the bridge is between the magnet and what we do necessarily at real estate. And I'm starting, this is like a battle plan. You have to have the whole battle plan laid out. Then you got to go backwards and do a mud run and see what it is that people really want. I mean, I'm thinking in my head, what can we give away without giving away the whole farm and not, asking them to come home with me. Okay. So it's like, for example, with probate, you could have something that says, what are the questions that people have when they inherit a house? And you could have a list of these things and say, if you want more information, we can guide you through this. That's something you can give away. That doesn't necessarily say, oh, by the way, let me buy the house too. So I think it's just laying all this out. There's a lot of stuff here, but I understand where it's going now.
Still trying to look for, and I know we're right at the top of the hour, so if you guys have to jump off, feel free to jump off. Hopefully you got something out of today. I was trying to find, I had it. I hope I didn't lose it when somebody flooded my computer.
Oh, Marie's smiling. Did she do something to your computer?
I'm not going to throw any names out there, but
She's got that look of shame.
I'm never going to live that one down.
He needs to let go of that.
Oh, I've let go of it. I just like picking on her.
Jack and Ginger all over his keyboard, Sal. A whole big glass of Jack and Ginger. But to my defense, it was his Jack and Ginger. He put it behind my computer screen and I pushed open my computer and it hit his computer.
I would blame him too, right?
No, I take 100% responsibility for that.
That was a beautiful reframe, though.
You like that reframe, Bob?
Absolutely. It's fantastic. It definitely wasn't your fault.
You're such a
wait.
cause, Mary.
You know what, Marie?
Such a cause.
I'm trying to take responsibility, Mickey. That's what I'm saying.
You know what you
I'm
do,
at
Marie?
cause.
You can reframe it by saying, Sean, thank you for being so patient with me.
Thank you for being so understanding, Sean.
I wish I knew where it went, folks. I will find it and probably show you guys. I'll just do a video and post it or something when I get it. But
So I just want to say, I think my big takeaway is like, and going back to what your point was, Sean, there's a million different ways that we can do this. And it has to come down to us making a decision on what we want to give away, what we want to target market, how we want to say it, how we want to follow up. And it's the whole follow-up process that comes into play for what goes on the initial page, what goes on that after they opt in, how you follow up. Like, there's a bajillion ways it seems like you can do this. So we just have to sit down and brainstorm it and figure out what we want for our own businesses.
I mean, to that point, I just happened to stumble on this file. I thought we put it in here. You guys see the Google Drive file?
Mhm.
Any one of these, I can turn any one of these things into a lead magnet. Most of the stuff we've handed out to you guys over the years, different trainings or whatnot, elevator pitch templates, the silo structure, 52-week content planner, the octopus analogy, the avatar worksheet, video format templates, anything like this could be turned into some form of a lead magnet and positioned right. And I can take some of these and go into a whole other industry and say the ultimate 52-week content planner for landscape contractors. So there's a number of ways that you guys can do this. You just have to sit down to Marie's point and decide what is it going to be. And it's not just build it, slap it up there, and then forget about it. It has to be the central focus. Now that we have that checklist out there on the REI site, I'm going to readjust a lot of messaging everywhere. A lot of social media stuff's going to be pointing to it. A lot of our blog content's going to be pointing to that checklist. There's going to be constant reminders about, hey, did you get the free checklist that we have out there? Now we're going to an event here pretty soon in Houston. Well, guess what? I'll probably have a QR code that takes them directly to the page. Scan this, get your free your free ultimate real estate internet checklist. Because that's an easy way to capture leads when I'm out and about at a trade show, right? So put some thought into it and think, what is a good bait piece that I could put out there that really helps, that really talks to the pain point of the person that I'm trying to help. This is why I push you guys so much to stop trying to be all real estate. You guys know you can do all real estate. It's just really, really difficult to market to all real estate situations at one time. Good. Anybody else? Thoughts, comments, questions before we call it a day?